Speaker tonight is Alpha Capaque, and Alpha is speaking tonight, and her speech is entitled "On a Stranger's Shore." Alpha and her family arrived from the Philippines into Darwin in 2007, and since then she's forged quite an extraordinary life for herself, actively involved in multicultural youth NT, which is known as My NT, and Alpha and I just discovered this evening that we both share the same boss at one time. She works for Northern Territory Treasury, and the head of Northern Territory Treasury was chair of Darwin Festival Board for a while. Very nice man. Lovely boss to have. And so there you go, we've all got a little bit of something in common. Alpha, would you like to come up and speak? Oh, she's behind me.
Whether it is from the way I talk or the way I look, maybe even with the TV shows I watch or the sports I do not follow. Yeah, don't even try talking to me about cricket or state of origin, please. One could easily guess that I haven't always been Australian. So let me just quickly show you where I came from. The Philippines is a country of about 7,107 islands, depending on whether the tide is low or high. So really, I could have had the chance to be born in any of these paradise islands, to wake up to the sight of clear water, the color of turquoise, and to feel the warm white sand beneath my feet. But sadly, that's not where I came from. No, that would be a dream holiday. As it stands, some of my Australian friends have been to more of these islands than I have. So thank you, Google, for those pictures. No, I came from here, born in the middle of a tiny town called Navotas, a place delicately balanced by opposing forces, filled with great buildings and frail homes, a strong people and a weak economy, high ambitions, and lowlands that flood at the slightest sign of rain, where almost everyone knew everyone, and if no one knew your family, then you're probably not worth knowing. A small piece of land, 10.77 square kilometers to be precise, with more than double the population of Darwin. But compared to others I knew, I lived a fairly comfortable life. Private school all the way, never had to work a day in my life to support my studies. My parents did well enough to afford to have mom stay at home so she could take care of all of us. I was home. I had my family, my friends. I dreamt and loved and cried. My whole life was planned out. I knew what university I would go to, which course I would take, what kind of job I would have. I could imagine my graduation in my head. So imagine all of that taken away with someone else's flick of a pen. You see, what most people forget, and even people who were immigrants once upon a time forget about this, is the agonizing fear that accompanies the building of new hopes and new dreams and a new future. There were a lot of things to be afraid of. For example, how do I use this bloody calculator that almost works like a computer? Seriously, in the Philippines, we just used our head, pen, and paper. Here, high school maths was like stepping into an engineering class. Are they going to understand me? Am I going to understand them? There were moments when I just go, wow, I've been speaking English my whole life, but what the heck did he just say? Will I be able to keep up? Why are they so tall? How on earth am I going to fit in? Yep, all of my fears summed up in one calculator. Imagine the stress of leaving home, of being expected to fit in a country and culture so different from yours. I remember after 1 month, Mom and I were just about ready to pack up and leave. There was a point in my life when I was just frustrated about everything. I did things because I had to. And even doing the things I love gave me no comfort. They just reminded me of the things I missed and had to let go. I stopped writing, and the theater became just another school class so I could get easy credits. It wasn't easy dealing with the change and growing up at the same time. That was until a couple of years ago. I applied for a youth advisory group, basically because I was bored with my life and I realized I needed a distraction. Through this involvement, I met lots of amazing people. And one of them introduced me to something that has changed my life forever. MyNT, a group of mismatched young people who have come together to spread the idea that young people can own the territory, no matter what you look like, or where you come from, or what language you speak at home. You have a place to speak your mind, and people who can help you make your ideas for positive social change a reality. These young people only had one thing in common. They saw differences as a beautiful part of life, not a burden that we just have to live with. This group gave me a purpose and a dream I could call my own. They taught me that this is my territory, my NT, my home. Most importantly, they taught me that I do not need to fit in. Thanks to these brave young people who wanted to break barriers, I have found my place and my heart. And I smile like I could dream forever. The land I left behind bade me goodbye. The burning ground, the swaying trees, the setting sun painted colors across the sky. I look back only to return a lonely smile. The wind I left behind kissed me farewell, blowing my hair, touching my cheeks, warming me with a kiss on my lips. I can still remember it in my sleep. Darling, have you stepped on a stranger land, covered in red dust and a blazing sun, with a knowing truth that chews you off, a mind telling you there is nothing left behind? I was a stranger on this land, my sweet, missing and crying for everything left behind. Singing praises, I looked for dreams of the morrow. Silencing tears, I held on to shadows of yesteryear. You see laughter in my eyes, child, as I found this new land to walk on. The wind, both of dry and wet, I've smelled. A new trove of memories I've collected. I see your smile, my friend, and it reminds me of childlike mysteries. It doesn't seem too long ago when I glimpsed it behind the glass, waving goodbye. You wonder where my heart is, love. I left a piece on the Southeast Seas for a new beginning and a hopeful promise that should leave my dreams at ease. Listen, my darling, for I can tell you now, my heart was never broken into, it just needed time. Now I laugh and dance, for my feet have found its ground. I am home, no more a stranger on this shore. Thank you.